Hey, so thank you for registering for my free live webinar, which was supposed to be conducted Sunday, April 26th. So what happened was I ended up pre-recording that actual webinar and I sent it out to everyone who registered. And at about 6 to 7 minutes, the audio went out and there was no more audio. That actual webinar video was like an hour long. So it was only like 6 or 7 minutes of, pure content with audio. The rest, only thing that you could do was just see me and actually see my PowerPoint in my training presentation slide on the actual computer. So what I'm going to be doing right now, because I don't really want to take the chance with the actual webinar, just due to the fact that the webinar, that software that I go through, has been flooded with a whole bunch of new users and they're experiencing problems right now. So I don't want to really waste another hour recording an actual webinar video, just because who knows, the audio might go out again. So what I'm going to do is make segments of how to start your actual Oversize over with permitting agency via YouTube. I'm going to be posting all of the actual segments on YouTube. It should be about 10 to 12 minute segments all the way up until completion. So maybe about 4 or 5 videos that I'll be posting over the next week. So man, let's just get off into it. When it come down to it, starting the actual Oversize over with permitting agency out there is going to be very lucrative. For some of you guys out there, maybe some of you guys right now are actually trucking. Some of you guys are dispatching, brokering, whatever it is. If you're watching me, or maybe some of you guys right now haven't even got into the actual transportation, the trucking industry, and maybe this is going to be your first encounter, with any type of business in this industry. And I'll tell you guys out there, man, an Oversize over with permitting agency is going to be very profitable. You could use it as a side hustle, you could use it as additional income, or you could use it as something that can grow, tremendously out here. So for me, how I found out and discovered, anything when it comes to how to obtain Oversize and over with permits was because back in 2017, I started my actual trucking company. I started out with the Hot Shots. A lot of you guys been following me, so I started out with Hot Shots. I started out with a Ram 3500 and a 40-foot Big Tex trailer. One load, I didn't know anything about oversized loads, to be honest with you. Oversized over with loads. It was a load on the load board that I ended up booking. The freight broker said, yes, an oversized load. And I was wondering, I was like, man, this load is paying very well, and he was like, yeah, it's an oversized load. I think it was like 10 or 11 feet wide, so he was paying very good money, but he told me that I had to get permits. I didn't know anything about getting permits. I ended up contacting a company called Data, and Data ended up charging me $30 per state. So for you guys out there, how it works is, which I'll get off into it, of course, in future videos, or maybe even in this video, on how it works on getting paid as an actual Oversize over with permitting agency. But anyway, just to kind of give you guys a brief overview on how to get paid, is the actual company that's providing the service to go get those oversized permits will charge a service fee. So every state requires an actual permit to enter that state. So let's just say you going from Illinois to Pennsylvania. You have to have an oversized permit for the state of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. So how it works is, let's just say it costs $20 in Illinois to get a permit. It costs $20 in Indiana to get a permit. It costs another $20 in Ohio to get a permit, and it costs $20 in Pennsylvania to get a permit. So the actual company has to still pay for the actual fee per state, plus your service fee. So Data charged me $30 per state. So Data basically charged me $120 for 4 states, to go through for that actual permit. So Comdata made $120 just by getting the oversized permits for me, and I also had to pay the actual state fees. So it might sound like a lot of money for the actual trucking company, but it's not really a lot of money for that trucking company, because that's why the actual shippers are going to pay the freight brokers good money to cover those actual permits anyway. So they're going to cover permits, and they're also just going to pay them, you know, additional money too, just for hauling that oversized load. So, you know, hauling oversized loads, and this is just maybe even me talking to you guys out there that want to get off into flatbed trucking and trucking right now. Go get you a flatbed trailer, because when you have a flatbed trailer, that flatbed trailer can make more money, to me, in my opinion, than an actual reefer trailer or a dry van trailer, just because you're able to haul oversized loads on a flatbed trailer, step deck trailer, RGN trailer, which I'll be getting off into, but I'm just kind of giving you guys a quick little overview. You know, right now on, you know, pretty much hauling oversized loads. I mean, getting oversized loads for these guys out here who is trucking with flatbed trailers, step deck trailers, RGNs, and you guys can make good money out here by putting on your service fee. And it don't take you that long to get the permits, but man, let's just go ahead and roll off into some of this training. I'll be going off my actual notes that I had on the actual training, just going off my PowerPoint on my cell phone, and let's get to it. So basically, an oversized or over width load considers, I mean, basically what qualifies a load to be an actual oversized or over width load is that it's going to be any load that is taller than 13 feet 6 inches tall. So I know some of you guys out there, just even if you've never been in the trucking industry, have been riding on the highway, and you have been going under a bridge, or, you know, there's an overpass and it says 13 feet 6 inches. It means do not exceed 13 feet 6 inches. So that means that flatbed truck cannot have a load on their trailer that is going to exceed 13 feet 6 inches. So that's going to be the height of the trailer off the ground plus the height of the load, and it cannot exceed 13 feet 6 inches. And if it exceeds 13 feet 6 inches, that's going to be an oversized load, meaning that there's going to have to be some type of coordination being done so that you do not travel on any highways or any roads that you cannot exceed 13 feet 6 inches. Also, what's going to be considered an oversized load is the width of the load, and that width is a load that exceeds 8 feet 6 inches wide. Most flatbed trailers out here are 8 feet 6 inches wide, right? It's like 102 wide or 104, somewhere around there. So you cannot exceed the actual width of your trailer. Once you guys exceed 8 feet 6 inches, if your load is over 8 feet 6 inches, so let's just say your load is 8 feet 7 inches wide, now you have to have an oversized permit, you know, to actually haul that load out there. So just remember, if that load is 8 feet 7 inches wide, you have to have an actual oversized, you know, an over width permit, you know, to haul that freight. So it's 13 feet 6 inches tall, 8 feet 6 inches wide, and also the load can't be no longer, it cannot be no longer than 60 feet long. You know, so a lot of flatbed and step deck trailers out here are 48 and 53 foot long. So that means that that actual load cannot be longer than 60 feet long, because you're allowed to hang off the back of the trailer. So you're already hanging off about 7 feet off the back if your trailer is a 53 foot flatbed trailer. So that load cannot be longer than 60 feet long. And if it's 60 feet, it's an oversized load, you know, but it cannot, well, it can exceed 60 feet long, of course, you know, but if it exceeds 60 feet long, that's, that's what's considered an actual oversized load. So just remember those numbers, which I'll have an actual screenshot on this actual video right here. So it's 13 feet 6 inches tall, 8 feet 6 inches wide, or 60 feet long, and it will require an actual permit per state. So let's get off into the types of trailers. Like I've been mentioning already, you have the 48 and 53 foot step deck trailer, and also you have the 48 and 53 foot flatbed trailer. And then also you have the removable gooseneck, which is the RGN. I'll show you guys some pictures, too, on this actual video. So those are going to be the trailers like I mentioned already. Those are your trailers that you're always going to be getting oversized and over with permits for, is your step deck trailers, your flatbed trailers, and your removable gooseneck trailers out there. So you're never going to be getting any permits, I guarantee you, for someone who has an actual 53-foot refrigerated trailer or 53-foot dry van trailer. It's always going to be somebody with an open deck trailer, which is going to be your removable gooseneck trailer, your step deck trailer, or your flatbed trailer. So I'm actually going to stop part 1 right now, and then we'll resume part 2 on the Oversize over with permitting agency, how to start up your business, how to get everything profitable. The next segment I'll be covering will be how to form your actual LLC, your limited liability company. I'll be covering some marketing and some advertising, and then we might could squeeze a little bit of networking in there, but that's what I'll be covering the next time around. So stay tuned for part 2. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on my email, broker@managedtrans.com. Go visit my website, www.extraordinarymovement.com. Go get your 30-day free trial with DAT. Go sign up with TAFS, Trans and Financial Services. If you guys are looking for a factoring service out there, CEO, commit, execute, and be obsessed. Everybody be great out there.